In the early 13th century, a group of Thai-speaking warriors set out from the rugged Shan highlands of what is now Myanmar. Led by Prince Sukaphaa, this was an intensely organized expedition. It took his party 13 years to push through the dense, forested terrain of the Patkai mountain range before finally descending into the vast plains of the Brahmaputra Valley. In 1228, they established their first capital on a heavily forested hilltop called Charadeo. Here, priests set up ritual centers to maintain the Chaolung faith, a tradition of ancestral spirit worship reliant on sacred objects brought directly from their highland home. Sukaphaa did not wander into this valley by accident or in search of refuge. He arrived with 9,000 followers, craftsmen, and nobles, executing a highly planned settlement. He laid the literal and spiritual groundwork for a dynasty that would hold this region for the next 6 centuries. Instead of waging immediate wars of conquest, the early Ahoms upswarmed the indigenous plains tribes. Sukaphaa married a woman from the local Moran tribe, blending their populations and immediately expanding his base of followers. Living in the Brahmaputra Valley required surviving massive annual floods. The Ahoms adapted their vernacular architecture, building their homes out of local bamboo and elevating them on raised stilts to keep living spaces and granaries safe above the treacherous floodwaters. As the kingdom grew, these elevated settlements evolved into sprawling planned capitals like Gargaon. The Ahoms replaced bamboo with massive brick complexes, encircling their cities with towering earthen ramparts and deep moats, engineered to actively channel monsoon flooding away from the royal core. The valley's extreme environment became an asset. By engineering their cities to work alongside the intense river currents and dense forests, the Ahoms created a natural, highly defensible fortress out of the landscape itself. To build massive public works and maintain an army, the state relied on the Paik system. Every able-bodied male between 15 and 50 was registered as a state worker, or Paik, and grouped into a 4-man unit called a Got. At any given time, 1 man rotated into active state service, whether for military duty or construction. While that 1 person served the kingdom, the remaining 3 stayed behind to cultivate the land and produce food. This specific ratio allowed the state to mobilize over 100,000 troops during a conflict without draining local farms of their labor. At the top of this highly structured society sat the Swargadeo, a king believed to possess divine authority. However, his power was kept in check by the Patra Mantri Sabha, a council led by the 5 great Gohains, senior nobles who held the authority to veto state decisions and even depose a weak ruler. As the kingdom expanded to include various communities, they found unity in shared traditions, particularly Bihu, a vibrant spring fertility festival. Young men and women marked the Assamese New Year dancing in open fields, dressed in traditional golden and white silk garments. Combining a highly organized labor rotation with a cohesive culture resulted in a remarkably resilient state. The Ahoms built a unified population capable of sustaining monumental infrastructure projects and enduring generation-spanning wars. When those wars came, the Ahom military deployed specialized units. Their heavy armor division consisted of highly trained war elephants. Outfitted with iron plating and carrying archers and howdahs on their backs, these animals were used to physically crush enemy palisades and shatter infantry formations. But their supreme military advantage was on the water. The Ahoms engineered a fleet of low, fast-moving warboats. Navigating the treacherous shallows and swift currents of the Brahmaputra, this river navy easily outmaneuvered heavier, deep-draft vessels. This fleet proved critical in 1671 during the Battle of Saraighat. The Mughal Empire sent a massive invasion force to annex the valley. The Ahom commander, Lachit Borphukan, though severely ill, personally led a charge in a small boat. He funneled the massive Mughal galleons into a narrow river gorge, where his agile fleet ripped through their lines. The Mughal fleet was completely routed. Lachit Borphukan died shortly after the battle, but his absolute commitment to defending the valley secured his place as Assam's most celebrated historical figure. Over 70 years, the Mughal Empire launched 17 separate invasions into Ahom territory. By drawing retreating enemies deep into flooded terrain and cutting their supply lines on the river, the Ahoms ensured the Mughals never held the valley. Safe from external threats, the 18th century became an era of massive construction. The state built the Ranggar, a 2-story royal amphitheater designed for watching elephant fights. Its curved boat hull roof is a distinct architectural feature, tracing directly to Thai construction traditions. With secure borders, the immense river network transformed into a highly profitable trade route. The administration established toll posts along the rivers and roads, collecting customs duties that filled the royal treasury. They also meticulously documented their own success. A dedicated class of royal scribes recorded everything from daily births and deaths to major military campaigns, writing these chronicles, known as barangis, on specially prepared sheets of tree bark. These detailed archives built an administration that valued precise historical memory, producing one of the most comprehensive official records of any kingdom in South Asia. The decline of the kingdom originated entirely from within. In the late 18th century, internal political and religious disputes erupted into the Moamoria Rebellion. This devastating civil conflict broke the Paik system, destroying the labor and military reserves the state relied on. Stripped of its rotating citizen army, the kingdom could no longer defend its borders. Between 1817 and 1822, forces from neighboring Burma launched 3 brutal invasions, completely overwhelming the weakened Ahom defenses. The Burmese occupation was brief but destructive, ending only when the British East India Company intervened. In 1826, the Treaty of Yandabo formally transferred control of the region to the British, terminating 6 centuries of Ahom sovereignty. Yet the physical markers of their rule remain deeply embedded in the landscape. At Charadeo, the immense earthen maidoms, the sacred burial mounds of their kings, still rise above the plains, standing exactly where Sukaphaa placed his first camp.
এই মাটি মাথো মাটি নহয়, ই আহোমৰ ইতিহাস। এই মাটি মাথো মাটি নহয়, ই আহোমৰ ইতিহাস। চুকাফাই আৰম্ভ কৰিলে এটা নতুন পথ, ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰৰ পাৰে পাৰে গঢ়িলে শক্তিৰ গৃহ। পাহাৰ নদী পাৰ হৈ সপোনে লিখিলে নাম, সৰু জাতি নহয় আমি, ইতিহাসে কৰিছে মান। তলুৱাৰৰ ঝংকাৰত জাগিছিল মাটিৰ মান, অসমৰ বুকুত জন্ম লোৱা বীৰৰে এই পৰিচয়। আমি আহোমৰ সন্তান, নমুনো আৰু কেতিয়াও, ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰৰ দৰে শক্তি আমাৰ বুকুত বহি থাকাও। অসমৰ মাটি আমাৰ গৌৰৱ, ইতিহাস আমাৰ গান, যুগ যুগ ধৰি জীয়াই থাকিব এই আহোমৰ নাম। লাচিতৰ শপত আজিও হৃদয়ত বাজে, শৰাইঘাটৰ যুদ্ধ বীৰত্বৰ গাথা সাজে। মোগল সেনাই আহিছিল জয় কৰিবলৈ দেশ, কিন্তু অসমীয়াৰ সাহসে ভাঙিলে সকলো শেষ। ঢোলৰ শব্দে উঠিছিল যুদ্ধাৰ বুকুত জুই, এই মাটিত জন্ম লোৱা ভয় কেতিয়াও নাহি। আমি আহোমৰ সন্তান, নমুনো আৰু কেতিয়াও, ব্ৰহ্মপুত্ৰৰ দৰে শক্তি আমাৰ বুকুত বহি থাকাও। অসমৰ মাটি আমাৰ গৌৰৱ, ইতিহাস আমাৰ গান, যুগ যুগ ধৰি জীয়াই থাকিব এই আহোমৰ নাম। যদি সোধে ইতিহাস ক'ত আছে সেই জাতি, কোৱা গৰ্বেৰে আহোমৰ ৰক্ত। আজিও বহে অসমৰ মাটি, আমি আহোমৰ সন্তান, ইতিহাস আমাৰ শক্তি। লাচিতৰ সাহস বুকুত লৈ আগবাঢ়া সদায় শক্তি। অসমৰ আকাশত আজিও বাজে সেই গান, বীৰৰ মাটি বীৰ জাতি, এই আহোমৰ মহান নাম।